Boom, you seen the thumbnail. You seen that glowy red OSSC. So we're gonna turn this into what you just saw. You saw the thumbnail, that's what it's gonna be. So for anybody who may not know what this thing is, it's the open source scan converter. Basically, it takes video signals for like a bunch of different game systems, component and RGB signal, and then it converts them into HDMI. So basically you can get the best possible video quality out of a lot of your game systems. And then they make these nifty shells for them, replacement shells. This one actually came to me from Tom Barber. Tom Barber. He actually laser cutted it himself because he found online the diagrams for it and then ran it through a laser cutter and then laser etched my logo into it. Tom Barber. That was so cool. That was really, really cool. So we're going to put it on, and obviously couldn't help myself but to throw some red LEDs in it. And that's what we're doing. This is basically me just taking it apart. As you see, it's got 3 different plates that hold the circuit board in place, and they're being held together by these different little screws. If you want to laser cut one of these yourself, I put the link that Tom Barber used in the description as how he did this. And got to clean it up because we're about to, solder to it. If you have one of these, I wouldn't fully recommend soldering to it. It's a relatively expensive piece of equipment. Don't want to mess it up. I don't care if mine dies, if I ruin it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm basically powering it on to look for some power points, some ground points, we need 5 volts to power the LEDs. So we're just looking for 5 volts, checking to see where we can tap into this thing relatively safely. I ended up pulling from the voltage regulator, which I don't think is the best, smartest option, but I don't care because I'm telling you that you shouldn't do this, and I'm just gonna do it anyway because I don't care. Here we have a LED strip, and I just soldered to positive and red. It has a common ground, so basically all the different colors are your different grounds, and then it just has a positive. So basically if I just solder a wire to just red, it's just going to be just red because I need it to be just red because it's a red shell. Now let's see if I can say red in Tom Barber any more times, because I don't even think I got a chance to explain what I was doing or explain what this thing is, because I've just been talking about Tom Barber and the color red. But whatever, my stupid head's in the way, so you can't really see me soldering. Oh well. I'm just pulling it from the voltage regulator. I basically just pulled it from right there because I just wanted to test it to make sure that it worked and nothing bad happened. And it ended up working. Pretty well. Just gonna throw some electrical tape over it. I just thought this was really cool. Like the end product, the end version of this, looks so good. And this typically isn't something that I would do, but I guess it is. I guess this is exactly what I do. I don't even know what I do anymore, man. I don't even know what I'm doing. I see something, somebody gives me a red shell for it, I'm like, let's put lights into it. Is that all I do? I think so. Let's LED mod my TV next. Who's down? Let's do it. So, I don't know. This was really fun. I'm basically just putting on a tiny little piece of tape right here to hold the LED strip in place. Other than that, there's like a little adhesive on the back of it that kind of holds it in place. And I put it against the back of the plugs. All right. So let's screw this thing back together and fire it up and see what it looks like. And then we got to... I think I got to put all these screws. That was the hardest part about this, was taking all those screws off. There was a lot of screws in there. Now, also, if you don't have a laser cutter, if you have an OSSC, or if you don't have an OSSC, but you want to get into like RGB SCART connections for your older game systems, or you want to do component video through HDMI, there's so many different other options. There's the FrameMeister, there's the RetroTink, and then there's like the cheap SCART to HDMI converters, which I used one of those for 2 years. And I had no complaints. My buddy Nick actually gave me this OSSC. Basically, it was his, and he just left it at my house, and he just sort of never took it back, and that was like years ago. So I guess it's I don't know. And maybe I gave him something for it. I can't remember. But he hasn't asked for it back. I'm just playing. Me and Nick traded for this. But he did just leave it at my house for like 2 years. And then I was like, yo, let me give you something for that. He was like, all right. So, screwing it back together. I think any of the options, they're all good. It's all splitting hairs as opposed to like which one's better. And I feel like as long as you're not using the yellow, red, and white cables, if you're using anything other than those for like your older game systems, you're good. As long because anything else other than those is such a dramatic improvement in like the video quality, and it's much more up to the standards of where we are today and what we're used to. So anything you want to use. I've done a lot of videos of like comparisons between like S-Video, SCART, Component, all that kind of stuff. If you want to scroll back in my video log and see more so what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen or if you're unaware. And boom! There we go. Let's turn the lights off. Yeah. Now let's get some action shots. Yeah, it looks so good. Thanks, Tom Barber, for giving me this. This is so cool. It looks really good. I really like it. Thank you guys for watching. I was just really, really excited about this. Hold up. Let's get an action shot in the dark. Where are we at? What, I forget to turn the lights off? What's the matter with me? No, I didn't forget to turn the lights off. There we go. I don't know. My logo in it just looks so cool. This was I was really happy. I had a lot of fun making this video, even though it was like the most simple, basic, dumb little mod. I still had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun enjoying it and watching it and counting how many times I said Tom Barber. And it works.